Mother Earth, what would you like us to convene?
Welcome to another podcast.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Oh my god.
I'm Zane.
I'm Anthony. Wow, we're ourselves today.
Wow.
Crazy. Holy shit.
It's all working out in 2020.
I haven't felt like me in a little while, so I kind of needed this.
Been out of my own skin.
Alex has the best week of his life coming up. Alex, my girlfriend, and I went out to
yeah, I'm your girlfriend.
Yeah, Alex, my girl. That was Alex, comma, my girlfriend. Went out to a bar recently for Jenny's 21st, and
His girlfriend.
Alex, yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful relationship.
It was brought up to us by a dear friend of ours, Matthew, that Taco Bell was doing a subscription service now.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I heard about that.
I hate this idea.
I kind of like it. I don't personally believe that I would have any use for it, but I heard someone talking about it, and they mentioned I think it was Tyler that mentioned this, where like walking to campus, all you can do, it's like you stop into a Taco Bell, just get a taco on your way to class.
Yeah, it's like a meal
that's where I
plan.
see the utility out of it. But also, like, near
much does it
us,
cost?
there's like 2 Taco Bells, like right next to each other. It's like, it's so easy to just be like out of class, coming back, grab a taco. I don't even have to deviate off my path. I can just turn into Taco Bell, get a taco, and leave. And like, I see the utility of it, but I'm not gonna fucking be satiated by a taco.
Yeah,
you know,
one
it's like,
taco. I feel like it should be like a box that you get, or like a meal.
It's probably not profitable then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, they
like
make it like
20 bucks for
15
the
bucks then.
subscription. Yeah, you
Oh
can,
yeah. How much does it cost?
It's 10
$10.
Is it $10?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make it like more money.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, think
They
about
actually
it. If you
probably don't even get a loss on because now it's like they get 30 tacos in a
Tacos
month,
are like
right?
fucking 30 cents,
Yeah,
dog. You know?
probably even less than
it's
that.
probably like 15 cents,
Yeah, no, yeah,
12
probably.
cents.
They use like meat paste.
Yeah. Leftover like horse and pig assholes, you know? It's good
they-
though. It's
they just
real
grind
good.
it up.
Put it in the
Nice
chuck,
and
send it
tender.
to Taco Bell.
All the scraps.
Pretty much, yeah.
Think about if you got a taco every single day. How much does one taco cost at Taco Bell?
It's like $1. Like,
Yeah,
straight up
so
$1.
it's a deal for someone who really loves Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Which I feel like most people do. It's like hard to like hate Taco Bell, but it's pretty easy to just like, I want a taco.
It's because it's
Yeah.
like
Every once in a
it's the only restaurant that's open at like fucking 2 a.m.
Mhm.
and that you can just go there and get some like greasy ass kind of pretty good food.
Yeah, and
especially
I'm not
if you're
about
drunk
to
or
sit,
high.
I'm not about to sit in a Wendy's drive-through for like 6 fucking hours.
I fucking hate Wendy's.
Fuck Wendy's.
What's
The
what the
only-
Wendy's hate?
The
Every
only thing
cheeseburger
that's
I've had-
good at Wendy's is the fucking chicken, $1 chicken sandwiches. And those are so fucking amazing.
The chicken Asiago sandwich
okay.
is really good.
Wendy's chicken is kind of popping
Wendy's
off.
chicken is good. Their burgers are trash.
Fuck Wendy's.
actually so
everything
bad.
Y'all not
else.
rocking with Frosties?
Frosties are good. I like. But I
Go
mean,
to
it's just
somewhere
chocolate
else,
ice cream.
dude. Go somewhere else.
I'm
Go
just saying,
somewhere that has a good
Where else has
Frosty.
Frosties?
It's a burger.
What else has Frosties?
I don't fucking know.
You just get a chocolate milkshake. That's basically a fucking Frosty.
yeah,
Yeah,
stop.
I mean,
They're all the same. Milkshake, Frosty, slushy. They're all
No,
just cold fucking.
slushies are
yeah,
different.
slushies a little
Okay,
different.
slushies are a little bit different.
I agree
but
with the sentiment. You can't just
Yeah.
get a milkshake anywhere, and Frosties are essentially
It'll
just
do the
thicker
job.
milkshakes. Yeah.
How are you so dead set on getting like, oh, I need a fucking Frosty right now? It's like I could
Yeah.
just get a milkshake. You know?
I think the thing I don't like most about Wendy's is the buns. It always feels like it's halfway between like an authentic burger and something that's just like you'd get just some random bun you get on a regular burger.
Have
And
you
I
tried-
honestly would prefer the regular bun.
I
have you
haven't
tried
had
their
it in
new
so long.
fries?
No.
They're
Wendy's
okay.
fries. I
What's
want to
new
go.
Fries from all fast food places are all like the same to me. They're just like flavorless potato sticks. Like they don't have any.
Flavor.
I mean, I guess, but like
yeah, they just taste like. I mean, they all taste like the same thing. I guess it's not flavorless, but they're just bland
Yeah.
potato.
McDonald's on good days is like probably the best fry out of the bunch.
And if we're talking about the big three, Wendy's, BK, and then Mickey
McDonald.
D's, Macca's.
Macca's.
I definitely think
Or
Macca's takes the cake for the fries. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's just when you get them served hot and they're nice and warm and fucking salty and like crispy, they're wonderful.
When
But it
McDonald's fries
happens
are
like
made right,
that's like that happens like 10% of
you
the
literally
time.
roll a d20 and you see if you can get
Yeah.
good McDonald's fries.
You have to be like an 18.
Yeah. DC on that was actually a nat 20 this time. So
The DC was a net 20.
yeah.
It's an easy roll. I got that.
How do you guys feel about Steak and Shake's fries? The ultra thin.
I'm so mad at fucking Steak and Shake. I was part of like their 60+ menu. You know, it was like I would go to Steak and Shake and I would get their fucking BLT. And I tried
the old people menu.
Yeah,
I thought like 60+ was a rank that you get for ordering.
dude, I'm level 60+ in competitive Steak and Shake. You don't understand. I've been grinding this.
I've been hammering back milkshakes and pounding burgers.
I hit steak too.
No, in the reality, it just means that I was eating egg whites only with like the 60+ year olds. But no, their BLT was fucking amazing. Like $2.99, and you get a shitty fucking BLT, but it's made well.
Yeah.
It's like
It's made with heart.
They put their soul into it, I swear.
there's bacon, lettuce, and tomato, and it's like the
It's
bread.
the name of the sandwich.
The bread is toasted pretty well, so it's like
thought of this?
You're describing like the most mediocre sandwich
it is
experience.
mediocre,
And
but it's
you're-
also $2.
It's like if Steak and Shake gave you like a school district lunch where you didn't have enough money.
It was $2 school district. It literally is.
Like, it's like a cold cheese sandwich, and you're
Oh
like,
my
holy
God.
shit, this is amazing.
No, it's like school lunch when you go on like a Thursday and it's like, yo, you get mashed potatoes, chicken, and shit. It's like,
Those
this
are
is
the best.
the good school
Yeah,
lunch. This is the day you buy lunch.
The Steak and Shake BLT is the good school lunch of fast food. Is what
Pretty
you're
much,
saying?
yeah. But they got rid of it, so I'm like eternally
Oh, okay.
molding.
So they failed. Oh,
So they failed.
yeah, they failed me and every other 60-year-old on the planet.
that's fucked up.
So have you not had the fries there?
Their fries are like pretty good, but I would only get it with the BLT, and now it's gone, so fuck the fries.
We used to order like an extra order of fries on the side when we went, just because they were so like, it's one of those.
Were you a milkshake dipper?
No.
Okay.
I see the purpose and I see the utility of it. Like you said earlier about the Taco Bell subscription.
Okay.
But it's just like, I would never do it.
I will say,
No.
before I went anti-Wendy's, you know, I'm staunch anti-Wendy's nowadays, but before that, I would get the spicy chicken nuggets and a Frosty, and I
Those-
would dip those motherfuckers in
That's
the
fine.
Frosty. That shit is so
It
good.
tames the heat. I
That
get
is
it, but also it
banging.
sounds gross as
No,
fuck.
it's good.
I feel
It's
like you like
sweet
a
and
lot
savory.
of. I feel like you like a lot of Wendy's menu items for hating
I
Wendy's.
I have two, no, I guess three items: the Frosty, the Asiago sandwich, and the chicken.
That's like a third.
Nuggets.
When do you go to McDonald's and you're like, I only like 2 things on the menu. Of course, you only like 2 things on the menu.
No, I like the Big Mac, the fucking McDouble, the
McDouble?
fucking
Yeah,
the
what do we
McDouble's
advertise, bro?
McDonald's sponsor
good.
us.
I want to be obese.
Sponsored by McDonald's.
I'll always get extra large. I promise.
I feel like I'm like that with most fast food restaurants, where there's only like 1 or 2 things I really like getting, and everything else is just kind of mid to me.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Taco Bell, I feel the same way. The Dorito tacos are like my go-to. Maybe a chalupa, and then after that, it's just kind of like whatever. Like I'll eat it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, all my fast food cravings, like if I ever have a craving for a specific fast food, it's going to be hyper specific. It's like I need Wendy's chicken sandwiches.
Cherry pies from McDonald's.
Fuck a cherry pie, dude.
they used to be kind of good. I'm
I
not gonna lie.
legitimately
They're so
hate
good.
pies, though. Pies are
Do you like
so...
toaster strudel?
They're okay.
Pop-Tart.
I hate Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tart.
I 100% rather have a toasted strudel than a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, I kind of agree. They're
I
just
mean-
like they're more affluent. They're
Yeah,
they're posh Pop-Tarts.
They really are. You're like upper middle class.
Yeah,
if
it's
you
Well,
like-
eat
it's what
toaster
a Pop-Tart is supposed to be. But it's like a Pop-Tart is a dehydrated toaster
It's
strudel.
like space food.
Yeah.
strudel.
You have
So-
to put it back in the fucking rehydrator to like get it to become a strudel.
Astronauts sending down requests for like their fucking
Pop-Tart.
I want strawberry Pop-Tart. Houston, I want strawberry Pop-Tart.
What are they called? Wendy Frosty.
Wendy
I want McDouble.
nuggies with the Frosty.
Copy that. We'll send it up with your bottle.
They're all dehydrated. A dehydrated Frosty.
It's just cocoa powder. I
Don't they like use piss water to rehydrate their shit up there?
think they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bear Grylls works at Wendy's.
Fucking animals.
It's just so funny thinking of like the world's leading scientist.
Just doing Bear Grylls up there. I'm good to go for another 50 hours
Do you see the video Anthony posted in our
of
Twitter
him
group
drinking
chat?
his piss. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was hilarious.
I know that was, but
All right.
actually
I
leading
didn't
off
drink
of
that
that,
much of it. Come on.
the video of Mark Kelly in like a gorilla costume chasing people.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Dude, that I didn't know that should happen.
I love the word. I love the wording on that too. He smuggled it in and didn't tell anybody. It's like, wow, this is fucking awesome.
I would be kind of worried because it's like, how do you get a full costume on like that on the ISS?
He used his ass.
What did he have to sacrifice to get that costume on? Like he had his suitcase and he was like, what am I not gonna bring to fit the gorilla costume?
No, he smuggled out team food rations where it's like, he got rid of all the dessert but the monkey costume.
Took away some of their food. Sorry guys, I hope you don't mind. I just needed to store this here real quick.
Kelly, where's our Pop-Tarts? I swear to God. He's getting on board the rocket with like a huge backpack. They're like, Mr. Kelly, what is that? He's like, nothing.
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts. He's bringing more.
Something I
You can't be leaving crumbs, Kelly. You know this.
There's crumbs floating around the ISS. They're like, God damn it! Someone opens a Nature Valley bar.
Yo, open the window. You gotta let these crumbs out.
All of the space debris that's surrounding the Earth is just Nature Valley crumbs.
There's like hypersonic fucking crumbs.
Yeah, that was just a peanut going by.
Satellites.
They're monitoring the James Webb Space Telescope's like mission to the orbit, and there's just ting, and it gets sent off orbit by a crumb.
Now we have to be careful about this launch. There's only a 30-second window between the Nature Valley crumbs.
We're approaching the corona of the Nature Valley ring.
They're like conglomerating into one like ball, a small meteorite of Nature Valley bar.
In 30 days, a small meteorite of Nature Valley will impact the Earth. It'll land around the San Francisco area. Anybody nearby is advised to evacuate. Guaranteed to die.
I mean, evacuate now.
Have you guys seen Don't Look Up?
I have.
Yeah?
No.
No?
Is it a movie where you can't look up, otherwise you die?
No,
it's a comedy, but it's supposed to be hyper ironic too.
Yeah.
It's like a direct parallel to like the COVID epidemic and like or a COVID pandemic.
I'm pretty sure it's for climate change. I think
it might be.
It can honestly be applicable to like a lot of things.
It could be applied to basically any situation that is dire enough.
What is the premise of the movie, though?
Basically, what happens is like these researchers at some school in Michigan, like they observe a comet that's like approaching Earth, and they do some calculations and realize that it's like going to hit Earth. Like they do like a ton of calculations over and over and over again.
Like true doomsday apocalypse kind of.
Yeah.
What doomsdays were in the 2000s?
It's in current day. Okay. And so basically like the fucking what's it called? They take it to the president or whatever, and like the president is like this person who's a lot like Trump. Like that's like kind of what they're going for, honestly. Where they're super focused on like their image. They're just like they're not paying attention to like shit that actually matters. Like when they bring up like what's actually happening, they're like, okay, well wait, when's the midterms? You know, like they're like, we can't bring this shit up to the public.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, they don't care about what's actually happening. Yeah. They're worried more about like what is going to affect them.
Yeah,
rather.
And so if there was a president who like straight up said that, I'd be like, if we get past this, pretty good. Good on him.
For only caring about PR.
No, not the PR thing. But if he just comes out and says like, "Yo, there's a comet about to hit the Earth," I'm like, yeah, you know what?
Oh, you mean like a president that actually does their job? You'd be impressed by?
Yeah, I would be impressed. Yeah,
okay. They came out and told us the truth. Yeah,
yeah,
that would be impressive.
But yeah, it's like a just continuing devolving series of events where it's like they have like a planned mission set by someone who's supposed to be like Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, just like a billionaire philanthropist that doesn't actually care about like the general public. It's more so for what they want out of like profits and such. Yeah. So they have like a mission to go and actually neutralize the asteroid or the comet. And then it literally
this
like
is just One Punch Man, dude. That's all you're saying.
Yeah, like what is the end of season 1?
Like that? With a meteor strike and Saitama just punches it. And
I haven't seen the last time I watched.
I can't believe you're spoiling
One Punch.
I know, that's so sad. I thought if you start it, you got to finish it. What's wrong with you?
No, I caught up, but I don't think there's like a third season or anything. And I watched it like
no, it was in the
ago.
anime. It was in like the first season.
Yeah, I probably watched it, but I don't remember. But anyways,
it's a pretty forgettable scene. Don't worry.
They have they have like a bunch of rockets that fly up, and then they like divert it because it's they find out that there's like a lot of minerals and like
people
valuable metals. No, like valuable metals.
Smurfs.
like platinum and gold and shit, and
Oh,
it's like
shit. So
way
they-
more profitable to send
If we let it
researchers up
hit-
there and mine it.
If we let it hit, we'll have those minerals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All we got to do is get rid of the Antarctic. Worth it.
just divert it to Antarctica. Just blow up the continent with an asteroid. We'll be fine.
We don't need that shit. It's cold there.
It's all ice.
Who lives
Yeah,
there?
let's not send it to the ocean or anything. Let's send it to Antarctica.
Yeah.
Well, the ocean might be pretty catastrophic too,
Yeah,
because it'll
true,
send
true,
a
true, true.
huge tidal wave to every coast.
We should just get it to skid across the surface of the earth.
Across.
Yeah, it's skipping across the fucking
It
ocean.
hits like the middle of the Pacific Ocean, skips, and then just goes like diverts course around the sun.
That would be incredible.
That would be
I want to see that.
Imagine being like on a boat. You just
It's like ripping through. Like,
comes in like
it's like parting the ocean.
Yeah, you're not going to be alive for long because there's a massive tidal wave following
Yeah,
that
you're
for
about to get
sure.
just swim through it.
Yeah, just swim, dumbass. It's literally water.
Go through the wave, moron.
Hold your breath, dumbass.
Do you guys
Don't
have
get
a,
crushed by tidal waves.
do you guys have a like thalassophobia, a fear of the ocean,
I
or
don't.
general deepness of it?
I think I think I have more thalassophobia than no, I think I'm more afraid of like the shit that could be in it rather than the open space itself. So if there's a distinction in that phobia where that is the case, I have that instead of thalassophobia.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel the same way, but I also have just general weariness of that open space because you don't know what's there. It's
I think that open space is just too ominous for me to trust it.
Yeah.
If I knew like Earth was like sterilized, you know, I'm just going in there. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. This is neat as fuck.
It's kind of like the same concept of being afraid of the dark, but in a place that's much more unfamiliar. So it kind of just gets amplified, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I don't think I have a fear of the dark because it's like I can get through, you know, like my own basement, you know, fine, whatever. I'm not really too afraid of like, oh, ghosts and shit. Does it sit in the back of my head? Fuck yeah, it does. Holy shit.
I don't know. I've kind of resolved myself from those kinds of fears, but that's what I was relating to with the thalassophobia because it is kind of like the same fear. And if I was in the ocean, like open ocean all the time, yeah, if I was swimming in the ocean,
The thing that scares me, like in terms of like the ghosts or whatever, like in your basement, it's not like I don't think about ghosts. I think of like a fucking random dude like living in my
that's
walls or
that's
some
the
shit.
main fear.
That's scary to me. But
because
like,
that's a little bit
yeah.
more realistic.
Yeah.
Like there's been stories of that happening, but
Yeah.
there's not like, oh, there's a
I don't really believe in ghosts and shit.
yeah,
you
there's
know?
a cryptid in my basement.
I like
Big
ironically
cryptid.
talk to ghosts in my house if I'm ever like alone.
Yeah.
Because it's just like nothing's here, but I'm like, oh, excuse me, as if, you know, walking past some dude. It's like, all right, I'm leaving. I'll be back at like 8. Y'all have the house.
Don't do anything crazy.
Seriously, I do that shit when I leave the house because it's funny to me. Like talking to like imaginary
It's-
ghosts.
that's like
It's
your-
it's my roommate, dude.
You have your own inside jokes with yourself.
I do, yeah.
You come back, there's like booze, there's stains, there's like,
like,
cup
dog,
or red
what
soda
the
cups.
fuck?
Yeah.
Clean up after yourselves.
There's just a floating lampshade, and you're like, come on.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, there's like a loosely tied tie and a lampshade.
I'm sorry,
floating.
boss.
What
I gotta
the
get these
fuck?
ghost bitches.
I left the computer on for you guys. What the fuck? Y'all had VR.
That's like a good way to disguise talking to yourself.
Oh shit.
I'm just talking to the ghosts. If anything, that's worse. You sound like a schizophrenic.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, well, I guess it is kind of weird in just different areas, but
I feel like
Yeah.
it's normal to talk to yourself. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people talk
really,
to
yeah,
themselves.
a lot of people talk
you know?
to themselves.
But like to say, and I don't think that this is actually what you're doing, but like if you like unironically believe that there were like ghosts in your house and you were like talking to them and having full on conversations with them, that might be, you know, like a sign to go get some medical help or something.
I do tend to ride the line on my own irony. I will admit.
I don't even know if I believe myself anymore.
I could be speaking myself into it. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
You're gonna go home and be like, oh god, they're actually here.
You talk yourself into having psychosis.
That would suck, dude.
It's probably possible.
Oh, 100%. You can like gaslight yourself into fucking anything.
I talk to myself a lot, like pretty frequently when I'm home alone, because it's just like, actually, it's how I practice like for the podcast as well. Because it's just, I learn how to speak more clearly. Maybe I'll develop a better vocabulary about certain things. It's just basically practicing where I don't usually have practice.
When I stream Minecraft, I'm not used to talking like to chat or like being passively entertaining because I play Valorant all the time. So what I do when I stream Minecraft is that I will talk myself through my like the process of what I'm about to do. So that way I can just like stay on track and stay focused.
Right.
So I do talk to myself a lot, but I feel like I keep my self-discussion to utility purposes.
I argue with myself.
Yeah.
I just have like arguments in my brain.
You play like both sides.
Yeah, like I'll be like folding my laundry and I'll be like, I just lost an argument to myself. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Because it's like just folding laundry, getting progressively more pissed.
I'm like flipping and getting angry at my shirt.
What the fuck?
I'll do this later. I'm done.
I can't even believe you just said that.
I can't deal with you right now. Fold the laundry yourself. I'm moving out.
That's how
pretty
you
much how it
gaslight
goes.
psychosis.
Yeah.
Dave's sitting in his bedroom like, what the fuck is going on out there?
Dude, I hope that nobody hears me whenever I talk to myself. Because like,
That's Dave.
yeah, I don't know.
Do you get distracted by your inner monologue a lot?
Distracted? Probably, yeah. Like, what do you mean distracted?
So it's like, say like you're driving or something, but then like you might zone out on driving and pursue a a thought in your head.
Start thinking about shit.
that.
Yeah. And you go on like autopilot when you drive. And
Pretty
you're
much,
like,
yeah.
Wait a minute,
And then
where
you like
am I?
you like fast travel. I call that like fast traveling because every
Pretty
time I zone out and I think of some shit, I zone back and I'm like, yo, I'm 5 minutes away from home. Shit, okay.
You're in like a loading screen that has the lore of your brain.
Yeah, like at the bottom, just little trivia facts. Like, did you know that you can go 35 on this road? It's like, oh, holy shit, yo.
Did you know that you might have left the oven on before you left home? Like all your anxieties and shit.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just like I don't know. Apparently, like if you take ADHD medication, that like line of thought is not necessarily gone, but it's like under control.
Yeah.
And I'm super curious on how it would affect me.
Dude, I've done Vyvanse once, which is like a very similar drug to
Yeah.
Adderall, and it was like I got literally just so much done. Like I wasn't like crazy like clenching my chest or
Yeah,
or,
no,
or
I
not my
imagine
chest, but
just
my-
like you're
my
able to focus
jaw. Yeah.
and like set a task.
But also to
actually.
be fair, I think I do have ADHD. I've never been tested, but
Yeah,
it's something
I've
that
never
I've
been
always
tested,
thought.
but I am curious to see what
Yeah.
the effects of like ADHD medication would be on me because I
Yeah.
get distracted a lot. But I don't know. It'd be
I think I
interesting.
have ADHD that's just undiagnosed. I find it
Yeah.
so hard to keep focused,
Yeah.
especially now in my adulthood.
Yeah,
I feel like
like-
it wasn't that bad as a kid, but now it's like I'll be trying to work on music or like work on an assignment, and I just find myself so easily distracted or
Mm-hmm.
wanting myself to be distracted.
Yeah, I feel iffy like self-diagnosing though
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
something like ADHD because it's just like these like symptoms are such like a common thing
Mhm.
that it's hard to just be like, well, maybe I have ADHD because it's like maybe I just don't and I
Yeah.
can just focus myself.
Yeah, 'cause-
I'm letting myself get distracted.
Because also sometimes it's like you get into a rut where like maybe you're just, like the passion is gone a little bit for
Mhm.
like whatever hobby it is. So like when you get distracted from it, it feels like you're being distracted and you haven't remembered like a time in which you weren't distracted because you've been in
Yeah.
that rut for a while. So it's
Mhm.
like you might even just trick yourself into thinking that you've had this for a long, long time, but you really haven't. That's why I'm also like I'm very skeptical about like self-diagnosing myself and even like getting a diagnosis now because it's like I know all the
Yeah,
right
yeah, I'm
answers
going
to the
to, like,
test. You know what I mean?
Passively
Like, yeah,
say things
I
that
can-
would apply for ADHD.
I could
You
can
gaslight
prime
yourself
myself.
into
yeah.
it.
And it's like my hypochondriac brain where
Mhm.
like you read some symptoms about something and you're like, oh shit, do I have that? Like I read some shit about Asperger's, I'm like, fuck, I might be a little autistic.
Yeah.
For sure, for
Like-
sure. I fit at
or
least two of
ADHD.
these.
Yeah.
You look up WebMD and they're like, yeah, you have cancer. Stage
Yeah.
4, you're dying.
You have cancer and autism.
That's
and
so
you're-
right. I've been hurting a lot.
My whole body's been hurting. I haven't slept in 4 days.
You got hit by a car.
They're like, I have a mild headache. They're like, you're gonna die. You got hit by a car. There's a meteorite coming for you right now. I feel the same thing with depression too. I think that's just a general. Everyone's like a little bit sad. Everyone's a little bit mopey. Everyone's
Yeah.
a little bit in a rut, and I feel like it just extends the same thing that you're talking about with ADHD, where it's kind of like a gaslight for yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to undermine everyone who does feel like this, because honestly, we probably do. I feel like there's mild forms of all these things that, affect us.
Yeah,
in some way.
depression is definitely a spectrum, but I also feel like it's like sometimes you can't always be happy. So like you have to just be okay with being content sometimes. It's like
Yeah.
if you're riding out through life and you're having a good, like a decent time and nothing's like too good or nothing's too bad, there's going to be ups and downs. But as long as you're like on that line, just like everything's good right now, like moderately so. I'm okay with this.
People are so obsessed with like having like this
Constant
picture
success.
perfect, like constant success, but also like a picture perfect life,
Mhm.
and like just some thought of whatever the fuck they think is a good life, and then as they pursue that, they just realize, or maybe they don't even realize it, but they become more and more miserable because they're chasing some fucking pipe dream.
I feel like that's how I've kind of gone in my adulthood, because it's like I haven't had much success in my early adulthood, like with college and everything. So now I'm like looking for way more success just to justify that.
Mhm.
And I think it's kind of built me into my own rut here now, because I am like, if I don't get enough done in a day, I'll like beat myself up for it mentally.
Yeah.
And I'll be
Mhm.
like, oh, I could have done this. I wanted to get more of this done.
Yeah,
and
I'm the
even if
same.
I attempt it, it's like, I kind
You
of pat
could have done
myself on the
more.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I could have done more, even if I do enough stuff. Like I
Yeah.
did a lot today, but it's probably going to be like, oh, I could have done this on top of this, or I
Mhm.
could have done this a little bit more efficiently.
Not to like interfere in your life, but I would recommend setting like weekly goals, because like I have
Yeah.
a week to week schedule, and I think that's like the perfect, like, because I don't have any long term capabilities of like planning ahead, because there's too much shit. I meticulously think out my life. And so it's just annoying to try and think of super long term goals. I have one really large overarching long term goal,
World
but everything
domination.
else is just but like everything else is just one week at a time. I'll
Yeah.
take that next step towards it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've been setting like daily goals for myself, basically at the start of my day
I
when
feel
I
too
start
much
doing
pressure
something.
from daily goals.
Yeah,
I can't
I'm
do that
starting to
shit.
feel that, so it's just kind of like whatever. I'll figure out something that I can do for the week and
Yeah.
see how much I can get done in the week.
Yeah, I know that for like if we're talking about like the ADHD spectrum, I know that people who like exist on that, like creating a regimented schedule that is actually, built up, that actually plans out your day, but hour by hour or whatever the fuck, that actually helps a lot.
It
in
does
terms
help
of,
a lot
like,
of people,
it
but you
helping
got to
your
find a
memory
schedule
and-
that works for
Yeah,
you.
exactly. You can't just force yourself into, like today I'm gonna meditate for an hour and a half. It's like, fuck no, you're not. Like, who the
I'm
fuck
about
do
to
you think
jerk
you are?
off
Like,
for an hour and a half. What are you talking about?
like you just spent the last fucking month, like 3 months, just fucking sleeping, jerking off, and eating ramen. Like, who do you think you are? Where you're just gonna make this radical change?
Yeah,
in
I do
one
that
day?
literally every
Yeah.
single semester of school.
do
I'm like,
too.
this is gonna be the greatest semester of my life. I'm gonna get so much shit done.
Then 1 week in, you're like, I'm gonna blow my fucking brains out.
Yeah, like when we started the gym schedule again, it was like maybe 2 weeks before we were like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go today, and then it just.
I think it's
devolved.
easier when we're all on campus. That was
Yeah.
the easiest schedule to keep up, because
it
it's just
was.
like I'm already there.
Because we were, even then we didn't go all the time, because someone was like,
Yeah.
my class got out early, I'm going home.
No, I feel like we were a lot better at
We were better.
at school.
I
Yeah.
just didn't come a lot because I was depressed that one year. yeah.
I was
I was
super
in
depressed, too.
class
Yeah.
with you.
That's like
Yeah.
the only thing I really did in terms of like my own benefit. That was like, I looked good, like I felt good, and
Yeah.
like there was noticeable improvements on my body. And then that summer it was like deflating back
Yeah.
into degeneracy essentially.
Yeah. Gamer time.
Also, that's fucked up. Friends in your class and you're depressed and you don't say shit, dude. That's
well, I just
fucked.
like, I don't know. Anytime I've been like depressed, I always just like don't talk about it. Cause it's like, whenever
Like-
I feel, and I know this is like the depression speaking, but it's like, I just feel like it's a burden to other people to
Oh
hear
no!
that shit. You know
Here's
what I
the
mean?
thing: we can totally hang out. We can do things. We don't have to talk about depression.
Yeah, no,
as long
and
as we
that's
can
what
just
we
like
did.
be together
Yeah,
and
no.
just
And-
ease the load.
And you guys did, and that's why like I still hung out with you. You know what I mean? I didn't shut you guys out of my life completely.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like some things fell by the wayside because it's just like, well, fuck. I just feel like shit. I don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's
and
fair.
so, but it's just like with depression especially, it's like sometimes there's not even necessarily a lot going on in my life or anything. It's just I feel like shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to do anything.
I feel
I
the
just want to
same way.
fucking like be in my bed and like just just hate myself.
Yeah,
for
I
like
want to wrap
hours.
myself in a blanket, face down, and just see what happens.
Yeah. And but it's just like I have like these waves where sometimes I'm in that, and then like most of the time I'm not. I
probably
started
that
taking
rut.
vitamin D. Yeah, it's definitely a rut. But I've also started taking vitamin D, and especially through this like cloudy ass fucking season, I haven't really experienced much like seasal depression. I've
yeah.
been like really
Is
good.
seasonal depression's a thing for vitamin D?
I get
Well, yeah,
seasonal.
because it's seasonal depression. It always starts like around like fall and like during the winter and shit.
shit.
And so like obviously, or a big part of that is because you're not getting sun.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. That's the time where I'm the happiest.
Really?
Yeah, like I love the winter months because the sun is gone and like I just get to enjoy a nice cold
Yeah.
outside temperature and it's good. I want to go like snowboarding during that season and shit. Like it's just nice.
I like the winter too. It's just like something about it. You know, you just like it makes me recede. Like I'm a hermit. Like that's like my fucking default path.
I just enjoy the winter sights, I feel.
Yeah,
Just like you
looking
get
at things like coated in snow.
Yeah, you get a unique view of like everything that you can only see like one out of the fucking 4 seasons that exist.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to take in each season for its benefits. I just fucking hate summer because it's uncomfortable to be
So
outside.
hot. Yeah.
I enjoy both. I really hated summer when I was a kid, but growing up, I have started to appreciate it more. And then winter
Yeah.
is just kind of the same for me. It's like I like going outside in the winter. I feel like it's a little bit refreshing, that the crisp, cold air.
I just have more winter clothes too.
Yeah.
I think
just
I do as
nicer.
well.
I used to love the winter like a lot, and then I started to dislike it when I started to drive. Like,
That's fair, yeah.
that's the only reason why I dislike it.
I've
But
had
other than
pretty
that, I
shit
think it's cool.
driving.
I've
Yeah.
had PTSD for like driving in like adverse conditions ever since like I first started door
Really?
dashing. Because like one day it was fucking super like snowy and it just hit too. So it's like the road was wet before and now it started snowing and everything was bad. And last delivery, right on my way home, I like slip out of control and I hit a fucking like telephone pole. Shit sucked.
Yeah.
And since then, I just have not enjoyed driving in snow. And like, I had a couple panic attacks.
Really?
Yeah, not recently, but
Yeah.
like afterwards, when like just the roads would get into like adverse conditions. So
Yeah.
it's just,
Scary.
just
Yeah.
awful. It sucks. You're in like a 2-ton fucking car, and you're like, kill people anywhere. It's an option, you know?
Like the It is talking. You're like, I can hit these people right now. You see pedestrians are like, I can literally just slide into them.
Yeah, it's just like that's always an option that I could pay a sum for someone's life in court,
Yeah.
and I could just remove them instantly.
from all of existence, dude.
Yeah, of course.
That's why like anytime it's like there's winter conditions, I stay the fuck away from the roads, like walking next to them. Cause at any moment, some fucking moron will just come like barreling down, like drifting.
Yeah, and all the pickup trucks
Yeah.
around here going like 45
yeah.
down
Yeah.
hills.
Fuck pickup trucks. They are the most obnoxious drivers, especially in the winter.
Anytime there's like rain or snow on the ground,
Yeah.
there's a billion fucking ambulances going
yeah.
down the street. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
soon as any rain or snow hits, people forget how to drive.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they'll still be going like 35, and it's like, bro, you can't do that shit.
Yeah, not when there's like fucking 2.5 inches on the ground.
Not when there's at least 6 more hills, bro.
You know how many times they get tailgated by some huge truck behind me?
So
And
annoying.
I'm already like going my max
Yeah.
speed, which
Yeah,
is
like
like 25.
40.
Yeah.
40 and a 35.
Well, I'm talking
yeah.
about with like adverse weather conditions
Okay,
too,
yeah,
like
yeah.
raining or snowing. Like my car can't handle that shit. I'm
No.
in an SUV, I can topple super easy. But then here comes fucking big Ford F-250 behind me with its fucking neon lights going straight into my rear view mirror.
Yeah.
Pumping 3 metric tons of carbon dioxide into
Yeah.
the fucking sky.
Literally inches from my bumper. It's like,
Yeah.
get the fuck away from me. If you own a truck and you don't have like a landscaping business or anything of the sort,
Or you
fuck
plow.
you. Yeah,
you.
plow. Yeah, there's so many pickup trucks in this area, and nobody uses it for good. It's like they all just use it for like dick measuring contests.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, look at my truck that I don't
Yeah.
fucking use.
They'll lift it 3 feet and get like fucking huge ass wheels.
I hate when I'm driving down the road and all of a sudden from behind me just
Filming a Dodge commercial behind you.
Yeah, it's
You're
just
just
like,
being
fuck.
assaulted by trucks.
I'm like encased in drugs.
truck gangs going down side streets.
You're just driving. It's pitch black outside. 2 trucks left and
One
right pull
pulls
up.
in front of me, slow.
box you in. You
Where do they come from? They both have truck nuts.
They all
God.
have drugs.
There's an American
nuts are
flag.
resting on your hood.
No, they have like the Blue Lives Matter flag in the back. The
Trump
NRA
2024.
sign.
Oh
Dude,
my
Biden's
I-
not my president.
It's honestly like half the trucks I see in this area. And it's all people who like haven't left this city. It's like it's generational.
It's so weird.
Positioning.
Hereditary racism.
Dude, like we live in
honestly. I mean, they're gonna get their politics from their parents, and like not ever leaving the town or not like going to college or not doing anything else.
Yeah, you don't experience,
or at least
other
like
people.
going on 4chan or Reddit.
That might make it worse.
That might be worse. Yeah.
It's so weird living in the fucking suburbs because there's people who are like they act like super country, you know, like they're fucking like they were raised like baling hay and fucking like mudding, you know, when they just live on a fucking cul-de-sac in like a 2-story 5-bedroom house with their fucking 6-figure parents.
Y'all gotta go to the city and shuck an oyster. That's what I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
And then you have people who just like act like fucking gangsters, like hype beasts and shit.
It really is a really interesting area.
It's so bizarre. It's like just act like a normal.
Like a normal
person. Stop being like a character.
It is kind of an interesting combination.
Stop starring in your own anime. Dude.
Yeah, they're acting like anime characters.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who like are wannabe gangsters because we live in the largest suburb of a very large city nearby. Yeah. So it's like we get a lot of people who act like they're from like the big city.
Yeah, when they're not.
Yeah, and they live in like a suburb. And then there's also people because we're like if you go any way east or south of here, like maybe 4 miles, 5 miles, you're gonna get boonies pretty fast. Like we're not too far from the boonies, but where you live is like a vast suburb. We're not in the boonies here.
No.
So it's like people who it's funny that there's a mix of these people and they like kind of get along. You get gene mixing of both in them.
There's harmony in the suburbs a little bit.
Yeah, we hit the triple point of like the extremes.
Yeah, trust fund babies, gangsters, and then
farmers.
Yeah, Yankees.
Yankees.
Yeah. I honest to God though, I hate the suburbs. Fuck the suburbs.
Yeah.
There's like,
where would you rather live than like a suburb?
A community, like it doesn't, because like when I say suburb, I'm envisioning like an American suburb where there's houses over here and then fucking 5 miles down the road there's like restaurants and stores and shit. Like in Europe,
like super convenient.
I think it's inconvenient because like in Europe and shit, what they have is they have houses and stores like mixed in the same zoning, so you can live in like a fucking generally they're apartments,
you can go
which
walk
I
to a
prefer.
convenience
You can
store,
literally
like
you can leave your apartment, walk like 2 blocks down maybe, and find a store with everything you need. It's like that would be way better in my opinion.
I feel like it's easier to have like a butcher shop and shit like that rather than like this massive convenience store.
You need Walmart and shit.
Yeah.
That's what like the
we've built a dependence on like these massive chain
superstores. Yeah.
Just with our setup.
Yeah, there's like a shopping district in a lot of larger cities and suburbs and stuff. So like for us specifically, it's basically an entire circle encompassing a very gentrified shopping area that has basically any superstore that you need. And it's just so aggravating and annoying because you can't reach that without driving.
And it's just boring too. It's like nothing happens in the community. Everyone's driving. You just drive to the next location, drive home, drive to wherever the fuck, drive home.
Sitting it's like 80% of your day.
Yeah, whereas like other people like in like European cities, you know, you walk about the town, you go to the fucking butcher shop, go to the park, do whatever the fuck, go
just
home.
Do my
you know what I mean? Like you see people around the community, you talk to them, you feel like you're actually like part of something.
Who here knows their fucking neighbors?
I do know one neighbor, and that's it, and that's rare because at my other house I didn't know them, and
I only know one neighbor, like not even really well. He's just out smoking whenever I leave for class, and it was like, yep,
yeah, there he goes again.
There he goes.
We give each other a friendly nod. Honestly, I think we're on the best terms.
Yeah.
He does not give a fuck about me. I don't give a fuck about him. We're just like, yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, and that kind of neighborly culture is not promoted at all in America. It's kind of like you got to privatize your own land. You're not supposed to like communicate. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can communicate, but it's like you don't have to in any.
You don't live in a community. You live in a place around other people
where you live.
Yeah, it's a community of one, and then there's another community of one next to you.
I think it's like it comes from that culture of like the whole
the Red Scare.
yeah. No, but like the whole like rugged individual thing and the whole like idea of
about bootstraps.
competing with your neighbor.
Oh,
you know,
Yeah,
like,
that was a huge thing back in like the 1900s.
Yeah, who has the greenest lawn and the nicest car, the biggest grill?
You don't shit in your lawn. I shit in my lawn. My lawn's great.
My lawn is perfect for shitting.
Look at this grass length. An inch and a half.
This is cashmere.
Diagonal lines.
Look at how lush it is.
You're coming on your fucking lawn because you just love it.
Look
so
at this
much.
crazy weed whacker I got.
Yeah,
I got it for $1,400.
See these bushes? I hire someone else to take care of them.
Yeah, that's the ultimate flex, actually. Having other people do your work.
Kind of true. It's bizarre though. I hate like suburb culture and shit. It's
That's
just,
fair. I think the way I envision like ideal suburb culture is more like European communities.
Because
it's
just everything's so much more
interesting.
intertwined.
That doesn't mean I'll talk to anyone still, but it's nice to like just be able to walk
around
and
people.
do things in a day.
I always like those apartment complexes that are like maybe 4 stories tall. There's like maybe 16 apartments total. And like those buildings are
where
always
it's just
really
like
nice.
literally just like a stairwell.
Yeah, it's like
that
one
leads to
stairwell.
rooms.
It's like full of young people. It's like a movie apartment complex.
It's Vine Street, bro, with all
Look
the
at
Viners.
It's the Vine apartment complex. We'll just rent out every apartment.
Like shitter, like 300 follower TikTokers. They all rent out these fucking shit-ass
I'm vlogging my neighbor's room today.
They don't even know anything about TikTok. They're just like, "What's up, neighbor?"
They're like, "Who are you?" They're like, "I just moved in.
Get out of my apartment."
I will shoot you."
Yo, hold this gun for the TikTok.
Renegade.
You're doing the renegade while someone points a loaded gun at you. If you do it wrong, you get shot.
You're on like the 30th take.
It's
like,
okay. We'll cut right as you shoot. So.
Yeah, it cuts right as.
Just point it like at the behind my head.
Shoot the apple on my head. Just make sure to aim correctly. Those apartment complexes are something that I've always envisioned myself living in because they're just fun.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to like live with or like start out. I don't want to buy a house or live in a place that I'm going to live for like a while.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to live in the same place for like 10 years, 15 years.
The thing is like I wouldn't want to like share like a house with, other people. It's more like I would rather have like neighbors be people I know and people I enjoy. Like I would rather have a community than like, okay, we're stuck in this house and then it's like guns out every night waiting for our neighbors to trespass our lawn,
You're living in Ancapistan, just
it's like, why the fuck do I have to? I'd rather just walk across the street and like into my neighbor's house, be like, yo, what's up, bitches?
Wasn't that the same thing as like living in a house together? Like
Pretty
just
much,
walking
I
up
just
to
want
room?
a larger area to do that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking
well,
about.
if we get a house that is like, if 4 of us buy a house or like rent a house, we're not going to be buying a house. Fuck that.
Fuck no.
Yeah. Not only do we not have the resources, but we don't have any means to do so.
True.
I don't think I would want to own a house either. Because like a lot of
I
people,
think I want to own a house later in my life.
maybe
but
when
I want to
I'm
own
old,
like a homestead kind of shit.
I think that'd be cool.
Like, that'd be neat.
When I'm like 80 years old, I just want to tend to my garden and leave society.
I want to own a workshop in like some bum-fat fuck nowhere, just like make shit.
Yeah.
Make like an Etsy account.
I want like a yeah, I mean that's
like
the
passive
dream.
retirement money. Just like, workshop.
Yeah.
You want wood? I got you.
I got the biggest wood.
I'd want to own a house just for passive income purposes later on. I'm saying this now. I would be a landlord if given the opportunity, but I would try to be as not shitty as possible.
Yeah.
It's just like if I have other passive income opportunities, I don't have to be a landlord. But just owning a house in general, I think
there's
a
nothing
goal.
wrong with being a landlord. Like a lot of people, they'll make like moral statements about it because it's like, the capitalist system exploits everyone and shit. And it's like, to an extent, that's true. But like, we live in a system, we live in a society. If there is gonna be someone that's gonna rent out that shit, it might as well be someone who's like not gonna overcharge and be like fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's like my overarching goal in life, to determine whether or not like I've like succeeded, is that if I can own a business in every single need of my life.
You're like horizontally integrating every fucking need you have.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I need food. I'm gonna make a farm. I need
Like I think that'd be interesting because it's like I can get all this shit I need for free and make money off of it.
You get like a whole tobacco synthesizing industry to create your own jewel pods.
That'd be neat. Yeah, it'd be really cool. If I had unlimited resource to do whatever the fuck I wanted, my overall goal, I would want to have everything I want automated.
You're gonna
in some form or fashion.
You're gonna catch Alex on Etsy selling like handmade jewel pods,
Artisanal jewel pods.
kosher jewel pods.
But yeah, no, because I think it's really interesting to learn a bunch of skills. Like at some point in my life, I want to learn tailoring. I want to learn how to like do woodworking. I want to know like obviously mechanical engineering.
You're just gonna be a Project Zomboid character.
Pretty much, yes. That is like.
Make sure you watch Life and Living though.
I will every fucking like Monday at 12, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah.
There's another point I wanted to make about landlords, about like the opposition. Like I do get the idea that a landlord, in the same retrospect as resellers, they're kind of doing the same shit. Where it's like you're getting access to this thing at an upcharge price because there's just a middleman in it that's trying to make money off of accessibility.
Yeah.
So I understand the gripe with that, but at the same time, the housing market is like a little bit different because of how expensive a lot of this shit is. If anything, they'd be giving it to you for a more affordable price because of renting.
Well, honestly, it kind of operates in a similar way that now that you say that, because it's like the reason why, PS5s were getting resold for like $1,000 is because like the PS5 manufacturing was very limited, right? Like there was the chip shortage and all that shit. So like they couldn't actually produce
We're
that
still
many.
like suffering through that.
Yeah, I know.
It's so annoying.
But like, and so a big reason why like the housing crisis exists, like why a lot of people, why there's like fucking rent for like $3,000 for some
Smart
dog
homes.
shit apartment. No, it's because of like, what's it called? It's because we're just not building enough housing. You know what I mean? We don't build enough like
Our population
dense-
is expanding, and there's just not enough houses to keep. up
Yeah,
with
exactly. Like we're there's a ton of like suburban sprawl, and you can only fit so many people like horizontally before you actually need to start building vertically. And so many cities like where this big like rent hikes are happening, like San Francisco and Seattle and LA and all that shit. Like the people who own like the single family homes are like voting to keep it so like they don't urbanize other shit. So it's like their home values stay high, and because of that, it hikes up rents and everything as well. So
And
it's
also
like,
a lot
it's
of the
all fucked.
homes being built are like nice homes, like homes that middle class and affluent people
and they're
can buy.
single family homes. That's the problem.
And they're huge.
Yeah. And so they take up a fuck ton of space. They use up a ton of resources, and they're not like efficient at all.
Well, we have more homes to fit people than we do like people living in the immediate area. And the problem is like we don't have enough affordable housing. We don't have like the urbanization that we actually need to be able to have affordable housing, because the houses that are affordable, quote unquote, are still like $700, $800 to rent. And that's like only in the state, which is like one of the cheapest.
To play devil's advocate here, like you guys can't deny the just the nicety of like owning like a plot of land, like a home.
Oh, I
right?
can deny it. No, no,
But
I
like,
agree.
No, I like
there
that.
are 100% going to be people who are attached to that
for sure.
one home like lifestyle. It's like I can't. You grew up here, or like you have like fucking memories of like this home and shit.
Yeah.
It's easy to get really sentimental, but
Yeah, no, I
know.
don't disagree. It's a political object that needs to be moved. You know what I mean? Like obviously there's like a big culture, especially in America, of like, owning your own
American dream.
like
it
owning
really
your
is.
own property, cutting out a piece of, your own space in the land or whatever. Like that is like kind of like a what's it called?
Like an ideology?
A quintessential point of American ideology, basically. It's a lot of people are super keen on that. It's like, owning a home is one of the most popular ways. Not saying it's the best or the most effective, but it's one of the most popular ways that people get like generational wealth.
The American dream nowadays got to be like owning a warehouse.
Owning a warehouse.
Yeah,
for,
so that way
for what?
you have all your collection things in there.
Oh yeah, for all
It's
your
like,
Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I'm off in like some apartment in like Zimbabwe or something, but like I got a warehouse in America. I'm living the American dream.
It's got all my PSA 10 holographic Charizards in there.
Yeah,
Another good thing about
U-Hauls are the next American dream.
just rent a U-Haul forever. Don't give them any ideas. They would totally make like small
fuck
truck
that.
rent-a homes.
Suck.
We're all actually just living on a highway, commuting nonstop, and we live
the
in a
highway's
truck.
just fucking the highway communities.
Yeah.
Let's just start one.
Oh no,
That would be fun.
that's like post-apocalyptic.
that's
scenario.
post climate change.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people skip over the fact that owning a home and like upkeeping it is a huge task. So renting an apartment or like renting a house, you have a lot of things done for you most of the time. Like if your landlord even allows it, or like the apartment complex even allows stuff like that. But like if you live in the fucking pet fees, that's a whole different story. But
I've never lived in an apartment, or at least consciously. I was like a wee lad.
Consciously.
I've lived in an apartment for basically half my life now, and it's very nice not having to cut grass or like tend to a garden. I mean, I do want to tend to a garden. I have a bunch of plants on the windowsill here, more or less in different states.
Yeah, I used to have this mint plant, but it just died because I gave it too much sun.
Yeah, it's a lot of plants are very fickle. But yeah, you kind of take for granted, at least me now living in an apartment for a majority of my life has been like I'm happy I don't have to cut grass. I'm happy I don't have to take trash out all the way outside to the end of my lawn,
And
which
worry
isn't
about
a
the
huge
plumbing
deal.
and everything.
Yeah, like maintenance people, if you need maintenance on anything.
Yeah.
Granted, here the maintenance is dog shit because there's like 2 dudes. But that leads into like paying people a livable wage. So they're hiring maintenance workers for $10 here. It's like no one wants to do that shit.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, not crazy hard work, it's still a work that people deserve to make a livable wage.
It's a respectable
off of.
profession. It is.
I can't do that shit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm calling people to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like landlords assume a lot of the upfront risk associated with owning the home because obviously, a fucking earthquake could happen and the whole thing gets destroyed. And like, obviously people who are renting there lose their homes, but they could just go rent somewhere else, but the
Assuming
person
that not everything has been destroyed.
Yeah, not everything in the town, but like, the person who owns that building just fucking lost that entire building.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know about earthquakes, but like I know insurance is just hard as
like
fuck
fucking
to
home
deal
fires
with.
or something like that. Because
Yeah.
you're trusting that they're responsible enough to not fuck up massively.
Yeah.
It might be nice to have that middleman because it offloads a lot of the work of upkeeping a place to live onto the landlord. So I think a good landlord would be someone who acts as that person, who makes it easier for you to live there while also making it at least somewhat affordable because, I mean, they're going to have to make profit somewhat, but they're going to be basically doubling the price a lot of the times, which is unfortunate. And it does kind of suck because landlord culture has gotten very lackadaisical because a lot of them don't even, offload that work onto themselves. It's like they're expecting you to upkeep the apartment and they're simply allowing
or they just
you
ignore
to live here.
it. They don't even assume that you're going to do it. They just ignore it. There needs to be like more regulations around enforcing like
like
landlords
regular inspections and shit like that.
Yeah, just making sure that everything's up to date and up to fucking spec.
Yeah, like if you're a landlord, you still have a job to do.
Yeah.
It's not just passive income. It's like you're upkeeping this person's place of living, like their space. Well, I guess not totally upkeeping it, but mentioning the maintenance work and everything else that gets involved in upkeeping a house or an apartment.
Bit of a topic switch up, but do you guys know who Sam Hyde is?
Heard the name, super familiar, no clue.
No?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think I remember like YouTube drama with him a long time ago.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
so he is a comedian who does like a lot of
Like Bob Saget?
Yeah, like
Bruh.
Bob Saget. No, more who
What?
would I
He's
even
dead?
compare him to?
Yeah, Bob Saget died literally 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
maybe
that
30 minutes
shit.
ago. I don't know if you knew.
It was a little
Yeah,
soon.
did you know?
Shut the fuck up.
No, I mean, like, did you know?
Yeah, did you know?
Did you know before I just said it?
He didn't die.
He
was literally
absolutely
dead.
did.
No, he didn't.
He
He's dead.
absolutely
Bob Saget's
died.
dead.
We're not gaslighting you. Like straight up.
I'm
All right.
looking this up.
Yeah,
because
we're
I
gonna
feel
give
like you're
Anthony a
gaslighting.
second. Well, honestly, I got sent a message in almost every Discord that I'm in. I'm like, I don't think people care about Bob Saget that much. Yeah, he's influential, but it's not like I could see Betty White
Oh, yeah.
dying
Yeah.
and people being
Yo,
like, kind of upset.
How
about
old
it.
is Bob Saget?
He was like 65.
Was
oh my
he?
god, he's dead. That's crazy. Okay, anyway, Sam Hyde. He's so yeah, he's like this big like very edgy
Already
kind of like-
controversy. I'm just hearing it.
yeah, no, he's a very controversial person. Like he in his like comedy skits or whatever, you know,
Racist?
they'll do like
Oh.
racist shit or anti-Semitic shit.
Just guessed
and
it.
like
I'm good at what I
You
do,
guys
man.
sniped it. You heard controversial
Yeah.
and YouTuber, and you're like racist.
Yeah.
Sniped it.
And And so
it's either
basically-
pedophile or racist with YouTubers. Like
Or,
honestly,
like,
it's
money
flip of the
laundering,
coin.
crypto coin.
Yeah, some loot box shit.
But he a long time ago, he had like a show called $1 Million Extreme, which was supposed to be on Adult Swim, but he got like but it got canceled because of some of the jokes that he was making.
Okay.
And so there was like a big debate for a long time, like
Well, how do you feel about it first and foremost? Do you feel like his show should be canceled because of skits he did, or
I don't know, because that's what I'm gonna talk more about it, and
Okay.
because I want to get your opinion on this too.
fair enough.
So like basically, you know, the way that he sees it, or the way that he explains it generally, is that it's just like hyper ironic. You know what I mean? And
You can't do it
like,
with racism.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you can. I think you can make some ironic jokes about like, you know, racism or sexism or whatever the fuck.
There
You
are
just-
some
it
very
has to
good
be made-
comedians who
yeah.
can stand the
like
line.
George Carlin, Dave Chappelle, like all Louis C.K. even
Like-
even though he's done some, you know, kind of very questionable shit.
Oh, yeah.
Comedy aside, that's what we're talking about. You know.
Like even Dan Harmon was like under
Yeah.
like threat of having Rick and Morty season 4 canceled because
Really?
of things that he did previously that were
Yeah.
like funny, albeit somewhat racist.
Yeah, it's just like that, you know, it all depends on the context of the joke and whether or not it's funny. No, but what I'm saying is, anyway, so he had, you know, he does like a bunch of skits, and honestly, some of them are the most hilarious skits I've ever seen. Even the ones that like are not racist or sexist, but they have like just such like good timing and everything. Like he's like an actual comedian, you know, like he writes comedic shit and he knows how to be like a funny person. So like he definitely understands irony, you know. But like anyway, iDubbbz was planning on making a documentary about Sam Hyde and $1 Million Extreme. And so like Dax Flame, did you guys watch that documentary that iDubbbz did about Dax Flame?
No, I don't
How
think
recent
so.
was it?
Was that the
That
one
was
who,
maybe, like,
the
a
guy who
year
wrote his
ago.
own book?
I think
And
he
he,
did
like,
write
he's
his own
talking
book.
about the
he's
ice
also,
cream
he's like
shop.
yeah, that
Okay,
guy.
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Really, it's a well-made documentary.
really
and
well made.
And it's like about like his whole, you know, career and like life afterwards and all that shit. And he wanted to do a similar thing with Sam Hyde. And so like what happened is, you know, they went through the week of recording all the footage, and iDubbbz just hasn't posted it in a while. So what Sam Hyde did was he released a documentary of the making of the documentary of iDubbbz's documentary. And so
That's hilarious.
yeah, they were just like, they recorded it and they were like just talking about like all the shit. Like you can see it in the beginning. It was actually so funny. They were talking about they were planning ahead of time. They created a Google Doc called the iDubbbz Gaslighting Plan, or iDubbbz Gaslight something, and or maybe it was just called the Gaslighting Document, something like that. And like it was literally just filled with like just fucking just ironic bullshit that they're gonna do the entire time. Like one of them was like, we're gonna push altcoins and shit coins like just to be annoying. We're gonna constantly mention like boxing and fighting, or it's just like the most bizarre, like actually hilarious shit that like you would ever think of. And their documentary was like an hour and 40 something minutes, and I watched the whole thing, and it was actually really entertaining. But like you could see it, like, you know, they use like they skirt the line of that, like that alt, like they use a lot of like alt-right terminology, like red pill or based or something, something that I do, ironically, you know, as a joke.
Yeah, of course.
But like
I've seen your posts.
but like you know, you can actually see it, like the way that they talk about it. I don't know how what's it called, like I don't know if it's ironic or not.
I feel like it is.
Because for a long time, I definitely thought it was ironic. Because you know, Brandon from our Cisco class,
Yes, of
he
course.
introduced me to Sam Hyde and $1 Million Extreme, and he's like a communist. He's like a full-on like left-leaning, like he's one of those guys that supports North Korea.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's that far left. At least the last time I talked to him, he might have changed. But like he was like, even at the time of him introducing me to him, he was like, I think he's left leaning and he's just super ironic. That's something I really hope. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see.
Here's kind of my stance on it. I think it's it's ultimately more on you to consume the media ironically than them putting it out ironically.
Yeah, you believe in the
where
death of the artist.
Yeah, like both your humors need to connect on some level in order for you to find it funny, but for you to connect it on like an ideological level, that's like a disconnect between
you're going a
humor
step
and-
beyond. Yeah, getting your politics from hyper ironic jokes. But the thing is, in general, the way I see it is like you have to have good jokes.
Yes.
And what I mean by good jokes is not only is it funny, but you need to understand that it is ironic.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying your humor
Yeah.
with it needs to connect with the media that you're consuming.
And it's like there's a certain extent you can go before it becomes like dog whistling. We've talked about this many times before about, PewDiePie doing it, where it's like a certain level where you're just like, was that even a joke, or was he just like making a statement?
Yeah, because like there's a certain like you can to take a more disconnected kind of example, like Alex Jones, he could just totally be spouting shit that he like believes, but I'm like consuming it as super funny shit that just this weird man is saying. Yeah. That's the way I consume it. That's the way my humor connects to it.
You're watching him as
necessarily-
a spectacle, though. You're watching the things he says because it's just so ridiculous,
but there are also people who consume him as media where they connect with his ideology.
It's like watching Joe Rogan and making fun of all of his political opinions.
Yeah.
But it's like I still don't I don't want to because I don't want to support Joe Rogan. But
yeah, that is that.
Because like there's like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's a show that I think really skirts the line on like what can you do while being edgy, funny, and pushing the line at the same time. And I think they do a really good job.
Scientists.
Yeah, because like the thing is that the main characters of the show are pieces of shit. They're like known to be pieces of shit. So it's like when they do a really fucked up thing, it's like you're not learning. It's not like I want to be like this character. It's like holy shit, look at this fucking
What
moron.
the fuck did he just do?
Why would they do that? Exactly. And so that's kind of like what a lot of Sam Hyde's humor is. Like when you watch like skits or something, it's like he's pushing the line of like being like this really edgy guy, and he's not necessarily saying a whole lot, but some of his terminology kind of signals towards a certain way.
Well, the thing is too is that if he interacts with his audience while keeping up the persona, he cements it as that is who he actually is.
And so that's a funny
because
thing.
that's the thing that you portray to people. It's obviously what they're going to pick up because you show them.
Yeah.
You're not going to see like, oh, he fucking saved a grandma and fucked 13 puppies in an orphanage. Or something.
Like he
that wasn't a good thing, but you know what I mean. Like it's not like he's a good person outside because he doesn't show it. It's not known.
That's the thing is that like Sam Hyde as an individual is really only known like in his character. Like he plays a character anytime that he's on camera, and like so to see his sincere self is very rare. And it kind of happened in the iDubbbz documentary thing, because they recorded an interview, and like he talked about like what he felt about his audience and like if they get it or not. And like he talked about like sometimes people post like these fucking 3-paragraph comments, and like I read like 3 sentences before I realize he's just talking bullshit. Like he's reading so much into the jokes, and it's like I want to think that this guy's just being super ironic, and it's like and it might just be being hijacked by like shitty people, because that tends to happen like quite a bit. But it's just like he plays a character so much, it's like it's hard to tell what is sincere and what's real.
That's the trouble you run into with the internet too. Yeah, because like online, I'm like 6 different people. Like I shit you not. I have like different accounts for like different things. And it's just like, if I am not using it and I don't want it connected to me, I don't have to make it connected to me. But when you put your name on something like Sam Hyde putting his like, if that's his real name, like Sam Hyde being Sam Hyde online, what you show is what people will now associate with you. If you're doing something on a level of irony and you're not dropping that mask ever, that mask is going to become who you are.
You're like irony poison.
Yeah.
Tim Pool tweeted recently about, I'm pretty sure it was Tim Pool. He quote tweeted something about like the Holocaust Museum not requiring something along these lines, where it was like a mask mandate,
or a vaccine card,
or like
probably.
you need a vaccine card. That was it. And it was like he made a comment like, oh, it's like hyper. He basically said that it was ironic that this is happening, and it's like, first of all, that's not the same. That's just a false connection. Second, it's like with how Tim Pool presents himself, politically and also as a persona on the internet, no one's going to be able to understand that that's a joke. And he, there's a huge long Twitter thread of everyone calling him out and everything. And he basically ended up saying, well, like, oh, it's just a joke. And it's like, you can't make that. You can't make a statement that has no indication that it is a joke,
well,
and then just go back on it.
I mean, do you expect Tom Pool to post a joke?
Tom Pool.
Whatever.
That's the thing, though. It's like you're used to. That's what you were going along with like the identity thing. Is everyone knows Tim Pool as
Tim Pool? Okay, Tom Pool.
Everyone knows Tim Pool is like a political ideology on. Well, not he is
ideologue. Yeah.
Is that a good ideologue?
An ideologue, yeah. Or like he postures himself as sort of like a truth finder journalist, but he's really just like he'll call himself a centrist, but like he'll always be criticizing.
He calls himself a centrist?
Yeah,
no way.
He's like created himself a space, but he didn't accommodate for where he wants to go. It's like
he can't really be funny if he's making jokes like that, because then that's just virtue signaling in a way that's not good.
I also don't think it's part of his brand really to be funny.
No.
Like I maybe like I don't watch a lot of his content, so maybe he tries to tell some jokes and I just don't find them funny.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
like anything that I've
like
seen is just boring and
detailed
lame.
by their brand too. So it's like you have to stay within your niche, but you also have to create other spaces for you to exert, like keep that shit to your brand kind of thing.
It's even worse because he makes jokes about like the lefts and like cancel culture and shit like that. Like those are his memes essentially.
But the thing is
it's
that
hard.
when
it's hard
people,
to balance it.
I don't know. With Tim Pool, I think it's different. Tim Pool, he's straight up like he's always like riding Trump's dick and like just like throating like right wing people all the time. And then when it comes to anything like left leaning, he's like, the liberal Democrats are pushing, CRT. Yeah, like, he'll say fucking crazy shit.
And then at that point it's just not a joke. It's just him talking.
When you say jokes like that, like that's just you saying what you believe, but you're falling back to it as a joke.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you test the waters with humor, quote unquote, but it's like if you get called out for it, you're just gonna fall back to it. Oh, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't do that when it's something you actually believe and something you're constantly pushing.
That's just context for a bad joke.
Yeah,
it's just not a joke.
Yeah, where like Sam Hyde, he is an entertainer. He's postured himself as a comedian. Not a truth teller, not some journalist who's trying to find the truth or whatever. Just an entertainer who wants to make funny videos, and for that, I think he succeeds. It's just where does the irony? Like, when does it get to a point where like the actual creator feels uncomfortable with like people running away with his shit and thinking crazy shit?
Yeah,
and that's where I think like I just really want to see iDubbbz's documentary. That's all. That's why I'm bringing this up, is because for now we've
it sounds
seen,
pretty hyped up. I'm gonna have to go and see the making of the documentary.
And I think you guys should watch other Sam Hyde like skits and content because it's actually fucking funny. I'll send you one of my favorites. But it's just, I don't know. I think it's because I also believe in the death of the artist in a lot of ways, because it's like comedy is art, and sometimes people are gonna come up with crazy shit that you believe when you they're gonna project their beliefs onto you when it's something you don't even, that's not the message that you wanted to spread.
Especially with political jokes. I think it's super easy to do stuff like that.
Yeah. The entire existence of critics in art is just, it's kind of misplaced. It's just really tough to consume media if you like pay attention to a critic. It's really hard to formulate your own opinions of what you think are things when you're always just going off of someone else's guess. Whereas like playing a video game with like a fucking walkthrough next to you, it's like, well, this is how you like are supposed to experience the game. It's like, oh well, then you lose a lot of the nuance, the majesty of like getting fucking shit on or like lost for 6 hours. It might be frustrating, but overcoming your own challenges and formulating your own opinions about the game are more important. The same way that you need to formulate your own humor. Humor is like great. I love
it's hyper subjective, and it's to say like I don't know. It's just it's so hard to call out comedians who have like that hyper ironic image of themselves and then actually try and criticize them.
I mean, that's also in the circle of like the edgy YouTube content anyways. iDubbbz, Max 2mofo and all that.
Max 2mofo.
Yeah, and
Specifically, Max Mofo's second channel is what he's referencing.
specifically, yes. But
I don't know.
because I mean,
back
that's,
in the day, Max Mofo fucking.
that's the whole point of having separate channels too, on like YouTube and stuff. It's like you have Captain Sparkles, who has 8 separate YouTube channels. One for his like Minecraft bullshit, one for his music, one for his workout, one for his vlog. He separates all that into different like streamlines of branding.
Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure that's mostly just for a like a
Taxes.
like a monetary thing. Well, if anything, it's just monetary streams and maybe just organizing your content. You know, like some people like they'll have like their main content channel
And then,
like H3,
like, stream
yeah, and then
clips,
yeah,
shit.
yeah, exactly. Where it's just like it's nice to organize it with a different channel rather than putting it all in one.
Yeah,
Which I
because
can understand.
sometimes it's just good to streamline your content like that.
Yeah. But
All
yeah,
right. That's the end of the podcast.
adios.
Man, fucks Tim
love you, goodbye.
Burton.
Tom Burton.
Tom Burton.
Tom Duel.